Thank you for staying with us. This is Good Morning Kenya. In case you're just joining us, my name is Vivian Degwa, and we now officially get into our family check segment. And as I had mentioned earlier on the show, today we're going to be looking at our local languages. We are going to be trying to see where we're going wrong, if at all we are going wrong, matters just preserving and allowing our languages to thrive. That is our mother tongue to thrive. How many of you can speak your languages, especially my younger people? Can you speak your languages and can you speak it fluently? That is the discussion we will be having today. And my discussants of the day, I will begin from my immediate right. We have Dr. Kenneth Ngure, who is a linguist and senior lecturer at the Kenyatta University. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And then right next to him, we have Kevin Moremi. Kevin Moremi is a language programs manager, BTL East Africa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And then we also have Timothy G. Kamau, who's advocacy specialist, SIL Africa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Finally, we have Dr. Johnston Kumwa, who is a life coach, a trainer, a mentor, and an author as well. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here, gentlemen. And you know, on the 21st of February, we get to celebrate International Mother Language Day. Mm-hmm. And the theme for this year is revitalizing indigenous language in a multilingual world. So when we talk about revitalizing our indigenous languages, what does that mean? Just from your point of view, if I may begin with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Vivian. And I'm grateful to have me here. And what an interesting topic we have. Revitalizing a language. Simply saying that that language is, you are making it healthy, and it's a language that can be used in almost all the domains of human communication. That I can use this language when I am in an office, I can use this language in the market, I can use it at home. That is now a revitalized language. It simply means that it is a healthy language, and that is what we need to do with our indigenous languages, so that we don't just limit them to the home. So we can use them even in offices. We can use them in county assemblies and the like.
How possible is that? Just from you giving us that definition and what that means, I'm just thinking, how possible is it for us to get to a point where even at the workplace we are using our native languages? Is that even possible?
Wow, amazing. When we talk about usage, because that's the whole issue of vitality, I would say it is possible to come to a place whereby in some setups, of course not all, where we can have our mother language is spoken in offices. It should be practical, because an example would be...
they need to check your mic, so maybe I can pass the question to you, Dr. Johnston.
Yes, please.
Just how possible is it to get to a point where we are actually able to use our native languages across all boards?
It is possible with a lot of sensitization. We need to go back to our communities and show the importance of our indigenous languages. And because I've realized that we seem to pay a lot of attention to and importance to our other so considered superior languages, like English. If you go to Tanzania, they are comfortable with Swahili. They use Swahili everywhere. It is the language of instruction. It is what they use in their offices. So it's possible. We can make it happen. Yes,
it is possible for us to make it happen.
Absolutely.
But you know, from even if I can speak from my experience, you know, growing up, even in schools, we were just, I mean, even you speaking Swahili was punishable. You know, there was this mantle that you would carry around if you speak Swahili. So I'm imagining, at what point was I even supposed to learn my mother tongue, if even Swahili was a problem? Because, you know, it's full on English. You just need to know how to speak English. Would you say that that is where we first went wrong?
Yeah, I think the question you just asked, I agree with Dr. Kenneth. When we talk of revitalizing a language, four things come to mind, or the four skills of learning a language come into mind. Over time, we have just domesticated or located our mother tongues into listening and speaking, which are two key skills of learning a language. We need to move them further. As we revitalize them, we promote them, we make them more feasible into reading and writing. Most people say that there is not much which is written in mother tongue. We do not expect people to come from far. When I go to work with communities from where I sit, when I go to a community, I tell the community it is your role to write in your language. It is your role to read in that language. What I can just come here is just be catalytic, just to help them make that happen. Yeah. So revitalizing means we take the four skills. Do we have the materials? Can we write? Are people reading? And then, as we are going to maybe to be hearing, we also need to see people using these languages even in other forms of media, not just on print media. Yeah.
Amazing. As I was saying is that, Vivian, when you think of it, why would an office set up in the very interior part of Kiambu serving natives and the officer in that office is from the community? Why would we insist that the people, the community, has to learn Kiswahili or learn English so that they can communicate with one who we would say is their son or their daughter in that office? So it is possible contextually to have our mother tongue come to a place of official purpose for use in offices within some contexts. And that is why we can't have the excess of thinking that we will do a national overhaul of our offices. Thank you.
All right. So would you say the younger generation now are embracing and valuing our indigenous languages or our local languages as much as previous generations did? Are we speaking our languages now?
Yeah, thank you. And to answer that, I think I should also get back to that question. There is a question you asked. Where did the rain begin beating us? I think it began with demonizing our indigenous languages. That teachers made us feel that it is wrong. You don't need to speak that language, and we were punished. We were punished. So unfortunately, that is something that has still stuck with us. Even when we finally are free to use that language, you still remember that trauma of having punished to speak your language. But then I can say that all is not lost. Yesterday I listened to one politician who had attended a church in Nairobi. And he was commending the congregation that he has seen the young people in that particular Sunday service communicating in their mother tongue. And I think there is some kind of interest, a kind of rejuvenation, interest in mother tongue among the young people. So even here in Nairobi, you will find there are churches that have services in mother tongue. And if this is happening in the city, what would we say about in the villages? And we say that about 70% of the Kenyan population is in the village. So I think all is not lost. The young people are learning these languages. I mean, we were being prepared to be global citizens. I guess that's why we were not really encouraged to speak more of our native languages, because I mean, if you're being prepared to be a global citizen, then maybe these are not the languages that you should be conversant in. But as you're saying, more younger people now are drawing interest in that. I know of a couple, several, 3 or 4 people who are now intentionally learning their languages. They are paying to learn this language the same way I would go to Goethe and learn German. That's the very same way they are doing it. They're doing it online. So, I mean, what is the importance of us just preserving our languages and allowing our language to thrive?
Language first is one of the components of a culture. So if we lose language, we lose touch with culture. For example, you've talked of the issue of being punished in school for speaking, let's say, mother tongue. I'm a Kamba, and if I go to the US, I will rap in Kikamba. I am proud of who I am.
Yeah.
I love my language. But we have this stereotype that if my kids we have grown up in an urban setting, my kids. That's where my family is. But I teach them mother tongue. I speak to them in my mother tongue. I tell them, don't think mother tongue is superior, is inferior. So let us learn our language. So our mother tongue connects us to the values, the norms of our culture. That is why we are having kids who go home, let's say during the first season in Christmas, and then they go home and they start rising their mother tongue, their grandparents, I mean. Yeah, sure. They are speaking in English to someone who cannot decipher what they're saying. So we should connect, that we can connect with the rest of the community. We should learn, and it will also be easier to understand other concepts. When you learn your mother tongue first, you learn the other languages faster. Because
But whose responsibility is it to ensure that, you know, we are learning our mother tongue? You know, for example, like I said, I know about 3-4 people that I know personally who are now actively, just intentionally working towards learning their language. But these are people in, you know, in their late 20s, early 30s. So whose responsibility is it to ensure that as I grow up, as much as I'm learning my English, as much as I'm learning my Swahili, I'm also learning my native language. And for families who have, you know, the parents don't come from the same place, same community, how do you go about that?
Yeah, I would like to comment. It's very dehumanizing for somebody to be forced to learn in a language. And by the way, at the moment, even as we start, 40% of the children globally are taught in a language that is not their own. So even as it was that time, this trend continues. So whose responsibility? First and foremost, French, English, Kiswahili, to some extent, have gotten to where they are because they were given a chance. So we also need to give our mother tongues a chance without putting a sword on them that it won't, that's like death on arrival, death at birth. So let's give these languages a chance. The first person to give these languages a chance is policy. What is the Ministry of Education doing? Because when that child comes to school, is she or he given a chance to learn? So what is happening at that level? And we know the Kenyan policy is a child should be taught, as Dr. here has said, when a child starts learning in a language that she understands, those are what we start for even as at SIL. When he starts learning in a language that is his, that he knows, he's enjoying fun. Learning becomes fun because there's not a big difference between what he's speaking at home and what he's hearing from the teacher. But the moment you bring a new language, he has to learn the language and learn the content through which you are teaching. So the first responsibility is on policy level. The government, the Ministry of Education should streamline policies to make that possible. The other one is for the parents. We need to bequeath our languages to our children. I mean, the Germans teach their children German. The Chinese do the same. So why are we killing our language at the expense of another language?
Very profound. And as Timothy rightfully says, language is transmitted what we call transgenerationally. It is one generation that teaches the next generation language. One of the challenges we will have is if we want to limit learning of language to the formal context, we must go back to speaking our mother tongues in our houses, whereby we speak the language because children acquire language in the environment within which they function. And of course, that can be challenged on the grounds of inter-community and interlingual marriages. But now think of it in the context whereby two people from the same community are married and their children are taught Kiswahili as their first language. it will be very challenging even when they go to school, even with good policies, for them to find any value in a language that is devalued at home. So we must go back there to the place of conversing in our mother tongues, in our first languages, in our indigenous languages at home, transgenerational transfer of language. And this is the surest way to revitalize languages, more than even other interventions like writing and recording and audiovisual. If we can get Vivian to go back and speak mother tongue with our parents, with our friends, without any struggle and without any feeling of inferiority, because that's the other issue, that you realize that some languages are treated as inferior, and you realize it's not all indigenous languages. Some are prestigious to some degree, but there are others whereby if you speak that, people wonder, do those people really exist? And where do you come from? So we remove the stigma that is associated with mother tongue speaking by esteeming our mother tongues at home. Thank you.
There's something you mentioned, Timothy, and you've also echoed it. We need to start with our policies, right? But I'm trying to look at it in this way. Okay, then the policies are there, and now we are, or our children are being taught a mother tongue even in school. How do we go about that, looking at a scenario where, you know, we live in urbanized areas? For example, in Nairobi, when you go to a school, any school in Nairobi, you'll find all the tribes of Kenya in one class. So how are we supposed to go about that?
Yeah, thank you. And I think this is what we said at that point when our indigenous languages were demonized, and they made us feel like these languages are not modern enough, and like they do not have the capability to be used in many domains. Unfortunately, that has still hung on, that even today we still think that they are not good enough. Maybe what I would say is, you asked the primary responsibility to teach. It starts with the parents, with the parents, because in the home domain, at home, if these people don't get it there at home, chances are very high that out there, they may not be, you know, they may not have that good exposure to learn it. So I would recommend we first have what we call language policies at home. And I've seen it work with some people that, like I have in mind a professor, he knew that if his children were to learn the mother tongue, then they have to be deliberate about it. And so they agreed with the wife that these children must learn our language. Can we make it possible? If there will be any house manager we will hire, that person should come and be properly briefed that here the language we use is this here at home. Because Kiswahili, they will pick it out there. English, they will pick it out there. So I think that has worked in Nairobi. Those children speak their mother tongue. And I think that is something that we can borrow a leaf from that. And then I can also, about marriages, mixed marriages, I have also seen it work. As a matter of fact, I'm having in mind a couple. One is a German and the other one is a Rendile. And the German learned Rendile. I've visited them in their home, and the language they use there is Rendile. Why? We are trying to show that our languages are also prestigious. So if we can manage to attach prestige on them, anyone can learn it. If I'm married to a Kamba, that person can learn Gikuyu, or I can also learn Kikamba. So there is nothing to feel like when I learn your language, like I'm losing mine. No, I think, and maybe finally I can echo what Ngugi wa Thiong'o once said, that if you're only learning other people's language and you don't speak yours, that is enslavement. But if you can learn, you are able to speak your language and you learn other people's language, that is an empowerment.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to tell people. I'm more empowered if I can speak all these languages. Yes.
Yeah, and maybe just to get your view on the same, okay, I've been asked to take a break, so let's take a break and then we get back to the conversation. Don't go too far. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let us continue with our conversation. And I had posed a question to you, Dr. Johnstone.
Yes.
Just who has that responsibility? Who bears the responsibility from your point of view?
It starts at home. That is where the smallest unit of our society, and that is where we need to start building our languages. For example, if you are in an urban setting where in a class you have all the languages represented, you will not speak Kikamba there. But in the rural settings, where a certain community dominates the population, let's teach them their language. Let schools teach their mother tongue. It's very complicated to teach mother tongue in an urban setting like in Nairobi. It's almost practically impossible. So it start at home. If you're a Kamba, teach your children Kikamba properly. If you come from the lakeside, you're a Luo, teach them their native language. If you come from the mountain like the Tanwuremi here, let them understand their mother tongue properly at home. Be their teacher, because at home, parents are the teachers. They are the disseminators of that language. So let parents take a proactive responsibility in teaching their children mother tongue. Yeah.
Is there a fear of us losing our local languages? Because, you know, just from the points that all of you have given, the responsibility lies at home. We begin from home. And, you know, now we are the new mothers, the new fathers, you know, the younger generation. And some of us are the kind who say, naisikia lakini siwezi kuongea. You know, I can hear it, but I can't be able to really speak it. So, and if that is where we should start, you know, with teaching our local languages, is there a fear that maybe in some years to come, we might lose our languages completely?
Yes. The fear is real. It is happening. They say globally every day there is a statistic. Every day a language is lost. And as what someone said, when you lose a language, you lose a forest. It's like losing a forest of information and of knowledge. So if nothing is done, we are losing our language. And people look at losing our language like you wake up one day, Geko is not being spoken. No, like for example, now there are many words. I asked some people who are slightly younger than me, they have lost those words. They don't know those words. So it's upon those people who are older than us to start documenting. Our languages are very beautiful. We have tongue twisters, we have proverbs that we can speak, we have sayings. Those aspects and components are getting lost because we are not practicing reading. And the language, it gets dead when there are no people speaking it who are competent in it. So for us not to lose it, we need to write it, we need to document it. Recording, we have gadgets, so that one will help and will go a long way. Yeah, but the fear is real. Yeah,
actually it is, and I've been involved a lot in research on the endangered languages of Kenya. And I can tell you the situation is a bit sad. Right now, speakers of big languages like Gikuyu might think that their language is safe. But like you rightly observed, in our homes, especially in the urban centers, we don't see these languages being spoken. And the threat for these big languages is coming from, unfortunately, Kiswahili and English, to a small extent, English. But then we have other situations that are more desperate, the so-called small languages of Kenya. Like we are thinking about a language called El Molo. The endangerment from on that language is not coming from English or Kiswahili. It's from other stronger Kenyan languages, like we are talking about Samburu, Turkana. We have other languages in coastal Kenya. The so-called, they might look like small, but they are being threatened by other Kenyan languages. And so now the question is, what should be done? Are we supposed to let them go like that, and we leave languages to their own devices? The strong one takes the day. No. We, as a linguist, we would be very concerned because, like he rightly observed, when you lose a language, it's like you've burnt down a library. Yeah, a library has gone down. There's no way of retrieving that knowledge because our languages have some very unique, some kind of unique knowledge that is well articulated using that language. Translating will not help. So the situation is a bit serious. We are losing our languages.
Is language revival possible?
Definitely. Language revitalization is very possible. It's happening. It's not only possible, but it's happening. And I will give an example. At BTL, we work both in Kenya, Tanzania, and South Sudan. One of the countries where languages are very gravely endangered is Tanzania. And you see, when we begin the work of advocacy, the work of language development, there is an awakening in a community, and you realize everyone starts speaking out. You know, even those people who did not want to identify as part of that language community begin to speak out. Then you realize, especially with the efforts in language development, which is developing writing systems and alphabets and material starts coming out in a language, there is a kind of, we would Christianize it and say a kind of Pentecost in a community, where everybody is now alive to, this is my language, and they want to know, how did we used to say this? And just before, so that I don't lose it, on the whole issue of language death, it has been documented. In Kenya, we have already lost two. Omotic and El Molo, the last speaker, passed on. These are actual Kenyan languages.
That have been lost?
They are lost. We don't have a living speaker. And the question is, what is at stake? When we lose El Molo, what have we lost? Because when we trivialize a language to just communication, we lose so much wealth that is only transferable through that language. I would touch a few like indigenous medical knowledge. You realize there are things you only know in Gikuyu. Even Dr. Kennedy, who is a veteran linguist, we say there are things that he can only explain clearly in Gikuyu. When you speak about them in English, you realize I'm not able to get the right words.
Like you're losing.
I'm losing the weight of this whole thing. Our moral system. It is unfortunate that when we lose our language, we have to borrow a moral and a socio-cultural system. Because every language carries with it a certain code of behavior. That is why when we learn English, we learn even etiquette, even we learn even how to eat. You can imagine a Gikuyu born in Muranga has to learn to eat in class. That's what is at stake, and it's what we don't see.
All right, we have about only 3 minutes to finalize the conversation, and I know there's an event that will be coming up. If you can just speak on the event that is coming up on the same topic.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have an event this Friday. The International Mother Language Day is marked every 21st of February and has a long history from the Bangladesh, where there was a language movement. So it was recognized by UNESCO since 1999. So on 21st is Saturday, so we brought it forward to Friday. Welcome here our host, Kenyatta University, KU Amphitheater. We are going to be marking this. It will be full of, this is a day we have marked since inception, 25 years ago. This is the 26th year. And the theme this year is, as we have said, revitalizing mother tongue languages and youth at the frontier. We want to bring the youth at the front level to be able to make that happen. And there are many other activities, even as an organization. We have partners like BTL, NATCOM, NEC. There will be many things, and we welcome you. Over the past, we have made it more of academic and cultural. Fanfare or shows, but this time round we are going to have much of cultural event, and you are welcome for that event.
So everyone is welcome to attend?
Yes.
Everyone and anyone?
Everyone and anyone.
Yeah. Is there registration, or you just show up at KU?
Just show up.
Just show up at KU. All right, I will allow each one of you to give us your final remarks on maybe just how we can be able to preserve this, you know. So 30 seconds each as your final remarks. Let me begin with you, Doc.
Thank you. Let's be passionate and proactive in speaking our mother tongues, our indigenous languages. Let us not oversee the death of our mother tongues.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I would say that let's recognize that our mother tongues are an invaluable resource that we should celebrate. Yeah, speak that language and don't leave it at that.
Okay.
We have many other languages in Kenya. Try to pick even another one after you have learned your language.
Okay, thank you.
My remarks here is, in the words of Shaban Robert, titi la mama litamu hata ligawa la mbwa. Let this fire not go out in our hearts. Tukuze lugha zetu za kwanza.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. My final remarks: you are the greatest advocate of your mother tongue. Speak it and speak about it. Let people know that you're proud of your indigenous language.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That is the best way for us to finalize this conversation. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on this, and thank you for the work that you're doing in order to ensure that we are really revitalizing our indigenous languages. This is where we end Good Morning Kenya for today.